Welcome everybody back to the channel. I'm just here to give you an update after 1 week of doing the carnivore diet, update you a little bit on my thoughts. I posted my last video a little bit late, so this one isn't a full 7 days after you saw that video, but it has been 7 days that I've been doing the diet. I hope to get this video posted tonight, but whenever you see it, just know that I've done 1 week. So I just wanted to share a few of my thoughts, some of the things I've learned with you for the first week, and then after I'll do a voiceover of my daily caloric intake with my macronutrients, as well as my weigh-in that I did this morning and the results from the first week. So first we'll go over a little bit what I thought, how I felt, and what I experienced. And I'm not gonna lie, the first few days were tough. The first few days were pretty hard. I felt hungry, I felt kind of tired, I felt kind of grumpy. I didn't love it. I didn't love it. I was craving like crazy. I saw sweets all over the place and I just kind of wanted to indulge. I didn't do it though, and I shouldn't say it wasn't all bad. Like there were highs and lows throughout the day. Sometimes I really felt fatigued, and then sometimes it was better. But despite feeling slightly fatigued, I noticed in my workouts, I didn't really feel that my strength was down. I should say I've been doing mostly body weight stuff, calisthenics on bars and rings primarily. And I think part of the reason I didn't notice my strength go down was because I was losing weight at the same time. So I wasn't having to push up as much weight. One example was when I went to do assisted or wall handstand push-ups. I was able to do a few push-ups and it didn't feel any worse than it did before. It actually felt a little bit better. And I think it was because I had lost some of that weight. So there's that. I should say one thing that really helped me was getting my meals more consistent. I eat more or less the same thing every morning, and I eat 4 times throughout the day. So I eat breakfast, lunch when I'm at work, I eat a snack right when I get off work so that I have some fuel in me for my workout, and then I eat post-workout. And that's kind of what I do, and I find that getting that schedule down really helped me out, get a little more consistency. The other thing I wanted to mention was that cardio. I haven't done a lot of cardio, but I like to play tennis. And there's a couple times when I went to play tennis and I was really, really fatigued, really tired. And I noticed I did not have the energy to play particularly well. So I'm curious to see how I adjust. From the things I've read, it takes a while for your body just to get used to this kind of diet, this low on carbohydrates and everything. So I'm interested to see how that works, and I might start running occasionally just to see how I feel when I'm on a bit of a distance run or even sprints maybe. Another thing I wanted to mention was I drank a lot of water this week, more water than normal, just to kind of consume something, you know, when you're kind of hungry, and I just drink water to try and take my mind off food. As well, I chewed a lot of gum. I'm not someone who usually chews gum very often, but I noticed that I always had a pack of gum on me, and it was something that I like to do. I know there's a bit of sugar and a bit of carbohydrates, but for me, I'm making an exception for chewing gum, and that's kind of something that's helped me. Is when I feel hungry, I'd toss some chewing gum in, and it kind of helps out, takes my mind off of it. I should say, as I mentioned before, it's been getting better each day. I find it kind of more normal and more easy to be diligent with this diet. But I am still craving. I should mention I don't live by myself, so sometimes the people I live with, they'll have sweets out or they'll be eating something else. Tonight they had pizza, and I was kind of sitting there like, oh man, I could go for some of that. But for the most part, I don't feel like I've been close to breaking at any point. All right, here I am back again. We're gonna take a look at what I ate this week. Here we are on the very first day I did this. I ate about 1,500 calories. Not enough. Here you can see it was about 164 grams of protein, 67 grams of fat, and only 8 grams of carbs. And this is pretty accurate. I mean, I didn't always add, if I was cooking with olive oil or butter, I didn't always add that. So give or take a few, maybe give or take 100 or so calories each day. Here the second day I had 1,800 calories with 188 of them coming, 188 grams of protein, 116 grams of fat, as you can see. So still not enough. And the third day, this is when I really felt that fatigue come in, and so I bumped my calories up quite a bit. I was just under 2,500, 213 grams of protein, which is crazy. That is definitely out of what I normally would eat, but I had to get the calories from something. Next day, 27th, more or less the same amount, 2,400 calories. And we'll see how many of them came from protein and fat and all that. But oh, there we go. On to the next day. About 2,200 calories, 242 grams of protein. So a few less calories. Next day, 29th, 2,500. That was kind of my sweet spot, I guess, with what I was cooking and kind of what was comfortable. I didn't feel too hungry with about 2,500 calories. Next day was 27. Very close. I should mention that the numbers that the app here is showing is it's calculating for 1 pound, losing 1 pound per week. So that's why it's saying that my goal should be about 2,800 calories. So that's kind of what I was aiming at, to go a little bit under maintenance. But since there's hardly any carbs, I was losing a lot more than 1 pound per week, especially because it was the first week. Here you can see I had 270 grams of protein in one day. I've probably never done that in my entire life before, and only 13 grams of carbohydrates. So that's kind of what the breakdown looks like. Okay, now let's take a look at my progress, I guess you could say, according to the scale anyway. So you can see at the top of the screen, on my first Wednesday last week, I weighed in at 10:23 a.m. This morning I weighed in at 7:40, so there's a little bit of a difference. I was earlier on one day. That could have played a role. I'll try and be a little more consistent in the future and do it around 8 o'clock each day. But so you can see I lost 5 pounds of weight, 5 pounds of mass, which I don't know. I didn't know exactly what to expect, but that's what I lost. Here I put circles around the body fat percentage, 14.2, so I lost 0.5% of body fat. I don't really know if that's good. I've never really tried to seriously cut before, but I mean it's down, and that was my goal, to bring it down, so I'm happy with that. I should mention that these figures are coming from a scale that my brother owns. I'm just using his scale, so I don't fully trust, I don't know how accurate these body fat percentages are and everything like that, but it's what I have to go off of. So I imagine I'm using the same scale anyway, so it's gonna be consistent. Whether or not it's super accurate, it'll be consistent. And then if we shift to the next photo, here in the next photo, we see the other value that I circled, which is the muscle mass, and my goal is to keep that number high, or not dig in to my muscle mass. And I lost, let me do some quick math here, 3.2 pounds of muscle in a week. So that's not good. Over half of the weight that I lost came from muscle, so I'm not thrilled with that. These other figures I don't really pay as much attention to, but as you can see, they've changed a little bit. My metabolic age went down by 1 year. Coincidentally, it's 22, and that's good because I'm 22 years old. My bone mass decreased, my protein increased. I should hope so. Anyways, you can see the values. If you find them interesting, great. If not, oh well. But yeah, so that's kind of what happened. So overall, my thoughts on that are, I would really like to keep my muscle mass above 150 pounds. In these 3 weeks, I really don't want to lose more muscle. I'm hoping that my body just took a while to adjust and that things will kind of balance out from here. But we'll see. Time will tell. So I mean, overall impressions, first week, not bad at all. I'm learning a bit as I go, and hopefully I can continue to get that body fat percentage down and maintain some of that muscle, maintain some of that strength, so that I can still perform well in my workouts and everything like that. But anyways, I hope you found this video useful, and feel free to leave comments, especially if you have any tips as far as editing goes. I know that these videos are a little bit rough, but as far as editing or even content related things, feel free to let me know. I'd love to hear some feedback. All right, take care, everybody. Bye.